season's very uncertain for the entire league in general, but you're a free agent for the first time. Have you thought about what free agency might look like for you if you'd like to be back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit, but I've loved my years here in Indiana. So obviously with a lot of uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I've built a life here, and I love this franchise. I love the people. I love the fans, so we'll see what comes.
Elliot?
Something massive just broke in Indiana, and fans can't believe it. Lexie Hull, Caitlin Clark's most loyal teammate, the heart and hustle of the Fever, just dropped a bomb that changed everything. Her emotional exit interview sounded polite on the surface, but between the lines, it was a full-blown goodbye message. The way she talked about uncertainty, building a life here, and loving the fans wasn't comfort, it was closure. And now, with Lexie walking out, the entire Fever locker room feels like it's cracking open from the inside. The question everyone's asking tonight is simple: what went so wrong that one of Caitlin's closest allies is suddenly gone? And more importantly, what happens to Caitlin Clark now that her last real teammate just left the building?
Tasha tweeted and was just saying a bunch about pride and how proud she was of this team. Have you kind of had similar emotions the last couple days, and how do you balance that with a very painful ending to the season?
Yeah, I mean, I think like following the game, it's so disappointing to lose. And most seasons end on a loss, so it's really hard and challenging. But I think when you sit back and think about our year and everything that we were able to accomplish with the circumstances that we were faced with.
Lexie Hull's exit didn't come out of nowhere, it was brewing all season. On paper, the Fever looked stable. Caitlin Clark bringing the spotlight, Aaliyah Boston holding the paint, and Lexie doing all the unseen hustle. But behind the smiles, cracks were forming. Her contract status as a restricted free agent gave Indiana control, yet her words told a different story. When she said, "There's a lot of uncertainty, but I love the people and the fans," that wasn't hope, it was goodbye. The Fever season was chaos, rotations changing nightly, chemistry fading, pressure from nonstop media attention. Lexie stayed loyal, diving for every loose ball, but the exhaustion was visible. She wasn't walking away from the team, she was walking away from instability. Between the shaky franchise, endless noise around Caitlin, and looming CBA drama, Lexie's exit wasn't a surprise. It was survival.
Uncertain for the entire league in general, but you're a free agent for the first time. Have you thought about what free agency might look like for you if you'd like to be back?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a restricted free agent, so I think that changes things a little bit, but I've loved my years here in Indiana. So obviously with a lot of uncertainty, you don't know what's to come, but I've built a life here, and I love this franchise. I love the people. I love the fans, so we'll see what comes.
Elliot?
The Fever season felt like a never-ending storm. One week they looked unstoppable, the next they couldn't buy a bucket. Injuries piled up, rotations made no sense, and locker room morale sank fast. Through it all, Lexie Hull was the steady heartbeat diving for loose balls, taking charges, guarding the league's toughest scorers, and never once complaining. She wasn't the loudest voice, but she was the one holding the foundation together while chaos spun around her. Still, you could see it in her interviews, the fatigue, the polite frustration, the quiet hint that she'd had enough. She kept saying words like adapt, flexibility, and uncertainty, which in athlete language means one thing: no clear role, no direction. The Fever were supposed to be rebuilding, but inside, it felt more like surviving. And for someone like Lexie, who plays with heart over hype, that kind of environment eventually breaks you down.
It's better. I'm excited to sit down and not do anything for a little bit. Yeah.
For you, what was this season like in terms of the different iterations and the different versions of yourself that you had to play, different roles, shooting, defense, diving, all those different things?
Yeah, I mean, the year, I feel like my role changed throughout the course of the year. I think continuing to just show up as my best self, regardless of starting or not, or playing more on the ball defensively or off, whatever the night looked like, I feel like my ability to adapt grew throughout the year. And that's something that I think I can continue to work on my game, is being flexible and being able to really just do whatever the team needs. And this year, I think everyone on our team was challenged in a way.
When Lexie spoke about building a life here and loving the fans, fans thought she was staying, but that was never the plan. That was a goodbye wrapped in kindness. And the moment she mentioned being excited to rest and focus on Unrivaled, everything clicked. Unrivaled isn't just another off-season league, it's the player-led project by Brianna Stewart and Nafisa Collier, giving WNBA players real control, real pay, and real respect. Lexie's decision to join it says everything. She's tired of waiting for the WNBA to fix itself. She's choosing stability, visibility, and freedom. It's not bitterness, it's evolution. Players like Lexie are no longer waiting for fair treatment. They're building something better. Her move sends a message across the league. Loyalty means nothing if the system keeps failing you. And if even a team-first player like Lexie Hull is walking away, it's a warning shot that the WNBA's foundation is cracking from within.
Moving forward, just every single thing we face, I think, is something that we won't forget. Like the injuries, the playing through people that playing with groups that we are just haven't even practiced with for the first time in games. Like we were faced with so much uncertainty. So I think there isn't like one pinpoint game where I'm like, I'll remember that game. It's almost just...
For Caitlin Clark, Lexie Hull's departure hits harder than any loss this season. These two weren't just teammates, they were anchors for each other in a locker room constantly under fire. Lexie was the quiet balance to Caitlin's intensity, the one person who understood the pressure that came with carrying an entire franchise. When things got ugly, fans booing, media swarming, Lexie was right there, standing beside her. Now that steady presence is gone, and Caitlin's world just got a lot lonelier. This isn't just about losing a defender or a shooter, it's about losing trust. Lexie was one of the few who truly had Caitlin's back without any ego. And now, Caitlin's walking into next season with fewer allies, more pressure, and an even louder spotlight. The question isn't whether she can score, it's whether she can lead without the one teammate who always made her feel grounded. Lexie's exit didn't just shake Caitlin, it exposed a much deeper problem inside the Fever. The team's leadership looks completely lost. Rotations kept changing, chemistry never clicked, and players were left guessing their roles game after game. Head coach Stephanie White was juggling lineups like experiments, and by the end, nobody knew what system they were even playing in. That kind of instability doesn't just hurt performance, it destroys morale. Lexie held it together as long as she could, but when even the most disciplined team-first player starts feeling unheard, that's when you know something's broken. The front office keeps chasing the next big headline instead of fixing what's inside. They've built a franchise around one superstar, but they've forgotten the foundation that makes winning possible: trust, communication, and stability. And Lexie's departure just proved that without those, the Fever are one bad offseason away from falling apart completely. The moment the news dropped, social media exploded. Fever fans were stunned, some heartbroken, others furious. Comments poured in, calling it the end of an era before it even began. And while a few said, it's just business, everyone knew this one hit different. Lexie Hull wasn't a replaceable name, she was the heart of the team. Even rival fans admitted her energy and work ethic kept Indiana alive when everything else fell apart. But the loudest conversation wasn't about Lexie, it was about Caitlin Clark. People immediately started asking, is she the problem? Why do players keep leaving? That narrative spread like wildfire. It's unfair, but it's the cost of fame. When you're the face of a franchise, every exit gets blamed on you. And now Caitlin's under more pressure than ever to prove she can lead a locker room, not just light up a scoreboard. This moment isn't just about who left, it's about who steps up next. This is the moment that could define Caitlin Clark's entire career. Last season, she was the spark, the rookie phenom who brought millions of eyes to the WNBA. But now, she has to become something more, a true leader. Without Lexie Hull by her side, there's no safety net, no one to smooth over tense moments or absorb the backlash when things go wrong. Every mistake, every loss, every headline will circle back to her. Caitlin's always thrived on pressure, but this is different. This isn't about highlights or records, it's about resilience, maturity, and trust. She'll have to unite a locker room that's already fractured, earn the respect of veterans, and prove she can lead without leaning on anyone. If she pulls it off, she becomes the face not just of Indiana, but of the future WNBA. But if she cracks under the weight, the narrative shifts from rising superstar to franchise failure. And the world is watching to see which one she becomes. Lexie Hull's exit isn't just a roster change, it's a wake-up call for the entire WNBA. It proves that even loyal, hardworking players are done waiting for stability that never comes. Her move to Unrivaled sends a message. Players want ownership of their careers, not promises that fade every off-season. For the Fever, this is more than losing a teammate, it's losing the culture that was starting to form. The chemistry, the trust, the quiet leadership, it's all gone with one signature. Now, Caitlin Clark stands alone at the center of it all. The spotlight's brighter than ever, but so is the responsibility. Indiana's management has a choice: rebuild smarter or repeat the same mistakes that drove Lexie out. Because if they don't, more players will follow her lead. This isn't just the end of Lexie Hull's chapter in Indiana, it's the beginning of a reckoning across the WNBA. So as the dust settles, one thing's clear: Lexie Hull's departure isn't just a loss, it's a reflection of everything the Fever and the WNBA are struggling to fix. Players are no longer staying quiet, they're walking out and building something better. And for Caitlin Clark, this is the crossroads of her young career. She can let this break her, or she can rise, take control, and finally become the leader fans believe she can be. Because leadership isn't about stats or spotlight, it's about keeping people around you from giving up. And now, with Lexie gone, Caitlin's got one chance to prove she's not just the future of women's basketball, she's the one who can change it forever.